I'm gonna show you how to apply this guy right here, using these guys right here. I'm gonna use this brush right here to show you how to apply the first 3 products in my palette. I've got my concealer, my foundation, and my contour. And this is gonna give me more of a medium coverage. I'm gonna start with the smaller end and I'm gonna tap into my concealer shade. I'm gonna dab a little bit on the inner corner and outer corner of my eye, the middle of my forehead, under my nose, and middle of my chin. Then I'm gonna flip the brush over to the bigger side. This is gonna give me a little bit more coverage, and I'm gonna tap in to my main shade. So I'm gonna apply my main shade to the areas as if I had a beard and a mustache. So just go ahead and stamp it on, don't swipe, and you're gonna apply it in that beard and mustache area. Then I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna go underneath the eye here, and maybe a bit in the middle of that concealer shade, but just right there. Same thing. Next, I'm going to tap in the product and then give myself this nice T shape across my forehead. We're only doing half of our face because this side's already done. T shape across the forehead here and then down the nose. But again, remember, stamping the entire time. I'm gonna use the same end of the brush for my contour shade. I'm not even gonna wipe it off in between. Now the contour is a bit more firm, so instead of stamping like we did with these guys, we're gonna have to actually swipe it to get the product on the brush. Then I'm gonna take and draw a nice little U or rainbow along my hairline. I'm gonna stamp out right here along my cheekbone, stopping before I get to the outer corner of my eye, and then whatever's left on the brush, I'm gonna put along my jawline. Okay, before I get rid of this brush here and move to the next, I am gonna take the smaller end and just kind of stamp in to blend in that concealer shade. Now I'm gonna move on to the bigger brush. I use this brush for blending. So with my contour, I'm gonna start by just stamping it in to blend it. And I always push upward. That way we're getting a little bit of a lift versus dragging down and really making your face appear a little bit more sunken in. So once you stamp that out, then you can move on to the jawline here. Again, stamping or even some buffing circular motions here, but really stamping it out to blend versus swiping. So once we have those 2 areas, we're gonna do here at the hairline. Again, I'm gonna stamp it out right here. And I do press upward toward the hairline just so I have it blended in so that I don't have this like white line from my scalp. Now again, this is cream makeup, so you can actually overblend. So the goal with blending this makeup is to not take away the darkness. It's actually just to soften the lines. So once you feel like you have it nice and blended, we're gonna move on to the blush. So for the last shade in my compact, I use that same side of the brush and I pick up just a touch on my brush and I just start stamping it in. For me personally, I like to keep my blush to the outer portion of my face just to keep this area nice and bright, and plus it gives me a bit of a lifted look. But again, just like with my other products, I'm just gonna stamp to blend it in. And that's it. That's how you can apply a palette using these brushes here. I will say the tools matter. So if you're gonna use brushes with your makeup, make sure you snag brushes that work with the formula makeup that you're wearing. If not, you're not gonna be 100% happy with your makeup application.